just roll the dice, shall we? Let's have some fun. So I've come down to Bassy Park for the Podium 5K New Year's Eve event. I didn't think I was going to get into this. Well, when I tried to enter it was too late. But 2 days ago, so the 29th of December, I got a lovely email basically saying that a spot had opened up if I wanted it. So I thought, one final roll of the dice in 2024, one final chance to race and potentially get another PB on the board, because I've only set one PB this year. I just couldn't say no, basically. So I've come down to Batsy Park on my lonesomes. The family are all preparing for a little kind of like friends and family gathering for New Year's Eve, and I'm in Bassy Park for a race. So my race heads off at 2:55. It's a new course in Bassy Park. I don't know if you've done this. If you've done this one before, you'll know the kind of conventional 2-lapper. It is slightly changed today. It's a 3.5 lap course, utilising the track. Hence why it's behind me here. So I think there's about 900 metres total of track usage, which I guess could help or hinder depending on how you look at it. An extra bend, but also it's the track, so it's obviously made to be quick. So yeah, obviously not fully prepared for this race, being as I only got the call up a couple of days ago. But yeah, it's going to be good fun nonetheless, carrying some extra Christmas pounds or extra energy depending on how you look at it. So yeah, I'm just absolutely buzzing to be here. It's going to be a great race, and yeah, can't wait to kind of get warmed up and get back on the start line. So yeah, sit back, relax, and there's an exciting announcement at the end of the video, so kind of stay tuned if you don't mind. So yeah, obviously 48 hours notice isn't ideal, but I've still got some pretty lofty goals for today's race. And I've just sat down and had my my bicarb B 2 hours before the race, as suggested. So yeah, anyway, goals for today's race. I always like to set an A, B and C goal. Just find it helps to kind of, you know, even when that kind of top goal is starting to get away from you, still got something to kind of fall back on. So A goal today is 14:30, so that would be a PB. A B goal of a PB, which is 14:40, and then a C goal, which is obviously always the best one. Everyone loves a bit of a C goal. It's sub 15 because I might have mentioned already, but I've only ever ran sub 15 once, which is my PB, 14:40. So it'll be nice to go just sub 15 again if all else fails. And you never know. These sorts of races, I was talking to my family about it, and you'd think, oh well, you ran 30:22 at Brighton not too long ago, so divide that by 2, that's a 15:10. But it never quite works out that easy. So anything kind of a PB would be good, which is 14:40. So, time to warm up. Let's get in the zone. Single espresso, half an hour to go till the race. Just need that little extra lift. Felt like I was getting a bit flat, so. Ugh. final layers coming off. This is when I leave the phone. Adios Pro 4s on the foot. So yeah, let's just roll the dice, shall we? Let's have some fun. Let's go. So we've ended the year on a PB. The podium 5k did not disappoint, or well, it kind of did in terms of I kind of set myself up for disappointment. My watch was clicking off at 2:52 per k, which is about 14:20 5k. So when my watch bleeped or completed the 5k at about 100 meters away from the finish, or 110 meters away from the finish, or whatever it was, I still had a little bit left to go, so I ended up running a 14:37 5k, which is a 3-second PB. And with the kind of the year I've had, starting off with a stress fracture, you've got to be happy with a PB after that. But yeah, I think in my head I was expecting the clock to say a little bit quicker when I got to the end, and that's just why you shouldn't really rely on your watch. As much as I was sticking to a very steady pace, just like 14:52, 52, 52, 52, like back to back to back, because I still had that extra little bit because the GPS was slightly off, or the course was slightly long, or whatever it may be. Yeah, I shouldn't have relied on the watch, and it's not necessarily that I was relying on the watch, but you know, I was basing how I was feeling off of the splits, if that makes sense. So bit of a silly one, but yeah, 14:37 to finish off the year with a bang. So I did actually end up PBing across the 5k and the 10k this year, which I did not expect at all. So yeah, hopefully 2025 holds some even quicker times. But the big kind of announcement that I've been wanting to make for quite a while, and I've kind of saved, or kind of managed to keep a little bit. So in 2025, I've partnered up with Adidas and Start Fitness, and this is all part of kind of my build in towards the London Marathon. So my debut for at the marathon distance, and yeah, well, obviously absolutely buzzing. It's going to be London, my home city, if you like, one of the majors, and yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing to get started. I'll be 24 by the time that the marathon comes around, so I feel like I'm getting to that age where it's starting to get acceptable for me to kind of move over to the distance, or at least give it a try. I'm not fully convinced whether I'll move to the marathon and then kind of carry on doing marathons, or if it's just a case of I'll do one and then I'll come back to kind of track stuff and road racing, or lower road racing. But I've been really kind of desperate to do a marathon for quite a long time, and a lot of people will say, Cole, you're a little bit too young, why are you waiting? But respectfully, I don't really care. I really want to do a marathon, and I feel like I'm ready. You know, I've put in some good mileage. I've learned a lot from my injury, fueling better than I've ever fueled, and that was one of the main reasons why I got injured before, is because I was doing so many fasted runs, and then I'd get back from a 20-mile run before when I got injured, and I wouldn't fuel for another few hours after that. I'd wait for the next meal time, whereas now it's a case of I would make sure I fuel properly before and I fuel properly after. Carbs, protein, like basically I try and eat everything I can get my hands on now, which is obviously benefiting my training like quite visibly from setting a couple of PBs and like some good race results. So I think I'm a lot better, in a much better headspace for the marathon now, and the plan was to do it originally last year, and the stress fracture kind of put pay to that. So I think that was maybe a sign from the universe that I wasn't quite ready, but I feel ready now. And with the help of Adidas and Start Fitness, who have supplied me with plenty of kit, and the Adios Pro 4s, which I raced in today. I will get onto that in just a second. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's kind of going to set me up. One thing I don't have to worry about now leading into the marathon is like, what kit am I wearing? I know what I'm going to be wearing, you know? So we'll obviously get into kind of my goals for the race itself at a later date. I'm going to make a separate video for that because there's some other goals that I want to set for the rest of the year across other distances. But yeah, that's it. I guess the cat's out of the bag in terms of debut marathon. I've got something special planned in terms of what I want to run. You can probably guess if you've been following kind of sub-elite marathon running for quite a long time, it's probably the biggest goal in sub-elite marathon running, maybe. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. The Pro 4s were good today. I wore them for the 5K. I think they're not quite a 5K shoe. I think the Adios Pro 3 was a little bit more of a versatile shoe, whereas the Pro 4 feels a little bit more suited to the half marathon distance. It's just that little bit more soft. And it feels like a higher stack. I'd need to look into the numbers, but it just feels like a little bit higher or a little bit less stable. But I think across the half marathon and marathon distance, it would definitely be a better shoe than the Pro 3, like definitely an upgrade. But I think the Pro 3 is probably better at kind of being a bit more of an all-rounder. So especially on a course like I did today at Bassy Park, where there's a few hairpin turns, maybe the Pro 3, a little bit more of a stable shoe, would have been the better option. But I was just eager to get the Pro 4 out of the box on feet and give it a whirl. And yeah, came away with a PB. So now for the marathon, as I said, we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth in a later video, kind of what my training plan is looking like, etc. I am going to be getting the help of a coach. I've already got that lined up, but again, that's going to be, I'll mention that in another video just because I want to go into a little bit more detail about that. So there's going to be a little bit more objectivity to my training rather than me just kind of getting out the door and just doing whatever I feel like, because quite often I'll get out the door and kind of, I don't know, make up what I'm going to do as I'm warming up. Sometimes I have an idea or I just take inspiration from someone else. For example, I really like the Callum Nelson, the Distance Project on Instagram. He does a weekly workout on his Instagram. I typically tend to take one of those and just kind of tweak it a little bit. Just it takes the thought out of it. But yeah, so I will be getting a coach. Some will already know who he is. He's pretty well known in the running world, and I'm excited. He's a friend of mine, so that should be good. But yeah, ending off the year with a bang. Next week is the Kent Champs cross country. So another kind of, I guess, a kind of goal race. It's different in terms of there's no kind of A, B and C goals in terms of time. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. It's a race that I always look forward to. But anyway, that's it. The big announcement, Adidas, Start Fitness, Cole, I guess, doing the London Marathon. So please like, subscribe, share with everyone, buddies. And yeah, pretty stoked to get started with this marathon block, I guess. See you in the next one.